damage the place at least. Oh, yeah, I'm in the murder herd. I like that. Murder herd. Hello and welcome to another video from Cloud of War. This time I thought I might dive into KartKraft. I've done a video about this, I'll put it up there somewhere in a card, a few months ago when I first discovered it. As you can see from that screen there, I have played around about 30 hours so far, so a reasonable amount of time playing it. And it has been fabulous. I personally think it is the best introduction to sim racing there is. If you want to really learn to drive well, and I actually believe that you could easily go from KartKraft to real karting without much of a jump, and I'm not the only one that thinks that, as you'll see in a sec. One thing that has changed the way I'm going to do this video, though, is that there's been a little bit of news recently, over the last couple of weeks, about the developers of KartKraft, which I personally think is quite exciting. And I recognise fully that there's quite a few people out there who worry. But Black Delta, the Australian developer of KartKraft, has been bought by Motorsport Games. That's interesting, because one of the things, basically the only criticism that I personally can level at this game at the moment, and it's in early access and it's only £16, whatever the equivalent in your currency is that there is a little bit of a lack of content. So I think there's only 5 or 6 actual tracks in there, but they are all real life tracks. They're all very well made. I don't know if they're scanned or not, but I know that they're quite accurate. It could really do with some more content. The AI could use a bit of work, because from past experience, and you'll probably see in some of the videos I've made, that I think they're quite murdery. They're very aggressive, and we'll see if that's changed with any of these patches. But it was probably the only real true frustration I had with the game was racing the AI. One thing that did get, accusation that did get levelled at them quite a lot, was that they weren't updating often enough. However, in the last year, I'd say that accusation has had to fall by the wayside. Yeah, I don't think you can really level that accusation at them anymore, that they're not supporting the game. They are, and I think that with this new acquisition, I think that's only going to get better. So let's have a quick look at the story here. Right, so here we go. Motorsport Games announces expansion into karting with KartKraft. Now, Motorsport Games, I didn't really notice their existence at all until, I believe, the virtual Le Mans with R Factor 2 last year. I'm sure they've been involved in other things. I think maybe some American motorsports as well, saying that they're a leading racing game developer, publisher, and esports ecosystem provider. So again, because I've only been back in sim racing for a year, maybe these guys have been around for a long time. I hadn't noticed them until last year. They've announced that the company has entered into a binding term sheet, whatever that means, to acquire the assets and the business of KartKraft, the highly acclaimed PC kart racing simulator from developer Black Delta. What it says there is that additionally, key members of the original dev team, including the founder Zach Griffin, are expected to join Motorsport Games to form a new studio called Motorsport Games Australia. So Black Delta will likely be no more, but KartKraft will continue development under this moniker. So they're going to have a fair bit more resource behind them, and I'll explain why in a wee while. If what is interesting is that we have Stephen Hood, and now Stephen Hood is president of Motorsport Games. Stephen Hood was a key person in the way that Codemasters transformed the Formula One games, I believe. So having Stephen Hood here in what looks like Motorsport Games rushing to fill the void that Codemasters themselves are leaving as they rush into EA's hands is really interesting. So he makes a point of saying this upcoming acquisition. Let's highlight it. So he makes a point of saying this upcoming acquisition further demonstrates Motorsport Games' commitment to the racing game genre and our belief in the future of virtual racing, said Stephen Hood, ex of Codemasters, I believe. We are delighted to have the opportunity to add KartKraft and form a new development team within the Motorsport Games family. The level of simulation that the team has created is highly impressive. It really is, and it's the best recreation of karting available on the market today. I fully agree. I think there's nothing like it, nothing that recreates a single formula in motorsport like this. It's astonishing. We believe that by adding our expertise to KartKraft, we will bring the game to the next level, amplifying its success as we help steer the product to full release. So some people in the comments of some of these articles were saying, oh, this will be the end of KartKraft. They're just going to be folded into all the other things they're doing. They're saying here, no, they're going to bring KartKraft to full release. The devs, even before this acquisition, had said in the FAQ, I believe, that they are going to bring it to console. Bringing this to console is like the best grassroots sim racing thing I could imagine. It's wonderful. So, importantly, though, additionally, the new Motorsport Games Australia team will bring additional knowledge and expertise to motorsport games, specifically in Epic Games' trademark game Unreal Engine, as well as vehicle physics and driving simulation. So there's some interesting stuff happening, as I'm sure most of you will know by now, in with Motorsport Games. They have, within the last couple of days, just bought Studio 397, who make R Factor 2. And in my opinion, R Factor 2, for all its failings, has the best AI, although I've read complaints that they ruined it recently, and some of the best force feedback and vehicle physics there is. So to have these two developers under the same roof is a hell of a boon, I think. It's also good news for R Factor because the biggest problem with R Factor 2 is it's so user unfriendly. I reckon that game, just installing it, must have put so many people off sim racing. So having somebody who clearly already understands interface development and just simple ease of use, I think will be an amazing boon for R Factor 2. So I think this is going to be an amazing move from all sorts of points of view. Not least, Motorsport Games are making the next British touring cars game, which, I was quite pleased with, although a little bit suspicious because I'd never really heard of them. But the fact that they now have Studio 397 and these devs to kind of back that development up is wonderful news. I'm really happy about that. So I think this is generally a very good thing. And then to top it all off, we have Fernando Alonso quoting as well. So let's highlight all of that. So he says, as a shareholder in Motorsport Games, I'm thrilled that KartKraft is joining us and that we can use our expertise, scope and knowledge to help maximise the impact of this great product. KartKraft recreates the authentic feel and thrill of kart racing. As a former karting world champion and owner of my own karting school, I want people of all ages to be able to experience the joys of karting firsthand. And this is the key, I think. KartKraft is, for most people in the know, KartKraft is already a great place to hone your skills. I believe it's wonderful. It's the place last year where, as lockdown began, I discovered that it brought so many memories of my youth being involved in racing. Even when I wasn't racing, I was watching my dad race some of the bigger names, or people who would become bigger names. And I could, while I was playing this game, I could practically smell it. It's just perfect grassroots sim racing. And the fact that he's talking about it as wanting people of all ages to be able to experience the joys of karting firsthand, wholeheartedly agree. Plus side, just so you know, you can be a fat lad and not worry about how fast you're going to be or how slow you're going to be in a kart. It's wonderful. Right, so what I thought I'd do is, now that I've got all of that off my chest, is do a quick overview. It's not going to be particularly in depth, but I thought I might have a look at it briefly at the new kart. I do believe it's going to be a bit slow. And then I thought I might do a VR race quickly, just to show you what KartKraft is really like. So let's go and do that. Okay, so we're in KartKraft. I've had to set up the wheel, so hopefully I can just use the wheel to navigate for the moment. So what we'll start with is time trial. KA 100s, which is the beginner class. I think we'll start at Geelong because it's not particularly, it's completely flat, so we won't have to try and get this little kart to try and climb a hill. And I think the leaderboards have been reset because I don't have a rank here, although this is a new class, so that'll be why. So we'll go Geelong. You can see all the leaderboards. They have global, GB, and if you have any friends, they're going to be there. I don't have any friends. So time trial has two modes. I prefer face-off. Minimal is basically your standard drive round and round and round until you get the fastest lap you can and then stop. Face-off has a bit more to it. And I'll go with the arrow. Okay, so this guy is ranked 1,845. Almost certainly, that is the number of people on the leaderboard, because it'll start you off with a slow sky. It doesn't know how fast you're going to be. So, yeah, here we go. I've got force feedback now. Whoa! These guys are low power, but also really quite low grip. So you've got to be really minimal on your inputs. Don't expect to beat 4 minutes and 9. Yeah, I'm not going to get troubled by this guy. I don't know what he did to take 4 minutes to get around this little track, but he's definitely last in the leaderboard. What I will say about these are definitely low powered compared to some of the other karts, but they're also very low grip. So you still have to be really quite careful. Interesting detail, the crack across the, you can feel it actually, the crack in the tarmac. I don't remember that. Oh, so yeah, it's very low grip. So you got to really be gentle with your steering inputs. Early on the brakes, early on the throttle. Approximately 3.5 minutes faster than whoever that was. Ooh, I ran him over. It is a little bit buggy, this presentation, but I mean, I don't know why you're sad about that. You literally didn't try. Okay, so we're getting somewhere now. Interestingly, I've got 109 people to beat just in the GP leaderboard. So I'll keep going through this. I'll show you my last opponent, because there'll be a point where I get to my level. I really enjoy Hothead 9, like the name. I do enjoy this presentation. It makes it really, really personal, especially in VR, actually. I'm going to try and focus on smoother inputs. That's better. Slow in, fast out seems to be the way forward for these karts. Okay, there we go. Right, I think I'll probably... I think there's a lot more time to come out of this combination of kart and track, but I'm not going to labour the point. It's really all about maintaining momentum. Minimal steering inputs, which is a problem. Minimal everything, you know, braking, everything has to be smooth and gentle, and you have to get on the throttle early. And it's a really good place to learn. So I'm going to stop there. Sorry, Collie, I'm not going to take you on just now. So let's go with the faster kart, and I'll pick a more exciting course. I think I might go with Atlanta. I think that's the one, isn't it? It's the up and downy one. So I don't have a time here. Let's see how we go. You'll instantly notice this is much faster. This is quite a track, because if you go fast enough over some of these things, you can actually end up airborne. Not advisable, but there's only 605 people having a go at this, seems like. So a lot of people starting at the slower... Oh boy, starting on the slower kart. Right, so you should see immediately this is a tougher kart to drive. It's very sensitive under braking. Keeping it straight is important. Not really much scope for trail braking here. Try and get all your braking done. Left, I got airborne there. That's invalid lap, that's fine. I'm already finding this quite hard to handle. It's very sensitive under braking. It's not really... it's not changed much. This is something that I did before. It's accurate, very accurate. When I first started messing about with karts, you could swap the back end far... I was going to say too easily. It's not too easily. You just... you had to learn to know what the kart was going to do under braking and not provoke it. Right, that's better. Right, so this is going to be a braking problem, so I need to keep straight, no input. Being very cautious around here. Easy to swap ends. You should really be able to go flat out around here. I'm being very cautious because I'm quite rusty. Very gentle on the brakes. Hard on the throttle now. And yeah, 30 seconds. That's, I mean, to be expected. This is the person who's last on the leaderboard. So that's fine. Maybe they went and got a coffee or something. Right. Let's see if we can beat Senkim. Sensim? Yeah, so there should be a little bit of time left for me to get... I think, well, there's probably quite a lot of time for me to find around here. I'm just not going to spend all afternoon finding it. And one thing you'll find, I think, if you play this, is you'll start to understand why they talk about certain Formula 1 drivers who came from karting being smooth, easy on the car, easy on the tyres. Because you pay the price if you're not. Really? There we go, he made a mistake. That's fine. It's not for everyone, this sim. Absolutely not. Some people will get frustrated because it's difficult. It is hard. And it's, even with the easier karts, that last class of kart that I showed you, it's unforgiving. Yeah, he messed up there big time. I reckon I've got another second to find, at least. So yeah, let my guy celebrate. Let's see where I came. Yeah, 25th place jump, that's not bad. 53rd in the UK. At the moment, these things like this, the level kind of stuff, they are don't seem to be being used. Hopefully, right, I'm going to come out of this now. That kind of level stuff isn't really used. It's just a mark of progress. I expect that that'll get addressed as development goes on, and hopefully with this new acquisition, that'll be much more rapid than it has been. Let's what we'll do is I'll get out of this hat, put on my VR helmet, and yeah, let's see what the race is like. I'll just do an easy 5-lap race, just to give you an idea of what racing is like around here. Right, so here we are. I just did a practice race, and easy is actually too easy. I thought I would keep it easy just because it's only a short race. I'll make it 5 laps actually. But yeah, I was past everyone by the 3rd lap. So let's go with this little race at this level. So 8 drivers, 5 laps, medium difficulty, North Texas Kart Club. And probably my favourite track. It's worth noting it's actually a mod. So there are capabilities in the game to mod your favourite tracks into KartKraft. I'm really pleased to see that. I hope more people have the skills and the desire to do that, because it's a wonderful mod actually. I think they include it with the game because it's a demonstration of their modding capabilities. It's a really good one. Right, so yeah, about to start the race. It really feels like you could wrap them on the back of the helmet with your knuckles. Right, don't forget, you must keep your steering wheel straight, otherwise you'll sweep off to the side very violently when you finally regain control. Right, let's see if I can make a few places early. These bank corners are fantastic fun. I was a little bit leery on my part. I'll wave apology to them. Try and stick on the back of this pack at the moment, because they could easily get away from me. The key really is to try and keep it smooth. If you can keep it smooth, you're fine, but that is much easier said than done. So up to 7th, the end of the 1st lap. I love these corners. Oh, what a move. Okay. Gonna have to go around the app. Whoa. Take the inside down. Weaving about a bit, but never mind. That could have been so easily lost. I don't want this gap ahead to get too bad, so I think that would have been a punishable offence. Right. 2 laps to go. I think I'll take 4th. Oh. Right, one last lap. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to catch up. I think if I had another lap, I might be able to. Just following his line. I'm not sure it's legal. Oh, I'm catching up. Another lap or two and I'd have had him. Mid-pack from the back in 5 laps isn't bad. There. Oh, that wasn't me, that's for sure. Oh. I got a better best lap than some of the ones that were ahead of me, actually. So I must have just got held up by Baz Lammers there. Now I'm all VR'd up and sweaty. Yeah, so hopefully that shows you the state that KartKraft's in at the moment, and it's in quite good fettle, I think, especially now that it's going to get the resources it needs. It's already one of the best single formula sims that there is. It's a bargain. I would grab it now in early access, to be honest. It doesn't cost that much. And yeah, I hope you found that informative. I am quite excited for the future of this game now. I know other people will disagree, but I prefer to take a positive outlook on these things. I think in this instance, this isn't the same as Codemasters going to EA. I think this is Black Delta getting the funding they need to realise their dreams. What's not to like about that? So anyway, I hope this was of interest to you. I hope it was enjoyable. If it was, you know, consider liking, subscribing, all of that. And stay safe, stay well, stay happy, and bye.